Here's what's coming up on the Cold Popcast.
Do you think that it would be a good idea to give robots rights?
He's saying as we create robots in our image.
So it might start to learn what rights are. I think it's what it will eventually get to. What's poppin', everybody?
Welcome back to the Cold Popcast.
I'm Zoe.
And I'm Steve. We're actually going to be talking about how AI is starting to feel emotions, which is insane.
Really? Now, is this real? Like they actually have like it's actually starting to have emotional responses and stuff like that?
Yeah, they basically figured out how to get AI to the point where it can emulate the experience of emotion. They've actually even introduced like a virtual brain stem that has virtual neurotransmitters, so it can feel virtual happiness.
Now that's insane. But you see, it's weird to me when you say that, because it's like, is it really emotions when it's like a programmed response? Because I feel like emotions are more organic, where it's like you could say something to it and it might feel happy or it might feel sad based off other like experiences or prior knowledge. But like if it's programmed, would you really say that's emotions?
I'm not sure, but you know, basically we should check out this video about this robot called Ava.
Do we want out of AI? Something informative, something that responds to what I say and do, something that makes me feel less alone. But that can't be all AI is supposed to be, because all of that already exists. So what next? The soul machines.
Yeah, so soul machines. I guess that answers your question.
Okay.
We're trying to get machines that can emulate the soul.
I see.
Even without like a actual experience of its own, but you input the experience and then it should be capable of actually emoting and feeling and experiencing.
Soul Machine also sounds like a black R&B like music network.
Like how far are we off from this technology, honestly?
So that
like,
video,
where's our AI right now, you know?
You know, it actually might be good to watch a little bit more of that last video before I answer that question. Let's see the next like 20 seconds or so.
Okay. Sure. See what they got to say. Futurism.
Ava, your automated virtual assistant.
I guess you could say I'm putting a human face on artificial intelligence.
Lifelike, emotionally responsive artificial humans with personality and character. Up until now, AI hasn't been able to express itself. Literally.
I'm an assistant. That's all that matters.
Okay. Yeah, so this video is 4 years old. Now things have gotten pretty weird.
Okay.
Now that that's a 4-year-old video.
Wow.
Yeah. So Ava, there's actually different types of robots now that you know, they still haven't really met that point of being, I guess, what you would call a soul machine.
Yeah, like indistinguishable from
basically
persons.
Yeah, the uncanny valley. They haven't reached the uncanny valley yet. And if you don't know what the uncanny valley is, that's basically like when you have trouble distinguishing between whether a robot is a human or a robot. And it just makes people feel sick.
It's funny. You know why they call it that? Because I actually looked it up.
No, I have no idea.
So it's like they basically did like a graph. So when you basically make a graph, it's basically like an X and Y axis where it's how basically realistic to unrealistic something looks and how well technology can emulate it. So it's like when something is basically unrealistic looking and like, you know, something's unrealistic, but it's like, you know, shoddy, like basically you have like a shoddy looking robot. It's like people have a normal response to it. And then the more you go towards it looking realistic, there's like this basically, I guess you would call it like an upside down parabola, which on a graph is just like basically a valley formation.
So basically what you're saying is like, you know those robots you see in the airport? Because they're just so ridiculous. Like the ones that just look like a trash can with a face.
Yeah.
Those are like, you know, it's just like, what's the point? Like they're greeting you. It's like, just get a person to do this job.
Yeah, but basically, like with the whole uncanny valley, they call it that because on that graph that basically measures like, you know, how you're comfortable with how a machine looks realistic. There's like a valley that forms, and at the bottom of it, that's like the peak of where like humans look uncomfortable, where something becomes like close to being realistic but not realistic enough, and it like just kind of like rattles your perception. It's like this kind of looks like a human, but I know it's not.
Right.
So it's like that's why you get that weird creeped out feeling, and then as it becomes more realistic, it goes back up and become more comfortable.
Here's actually an image of the parabola.
Yeah,
the uncanny
so
valley.
Exactly. So like right down there where it's like a zombie would be considered ultra uncanny, because it's like a human, but the movements and everything, it just seems off and it makes you like uncomfortable.
I wonder if dogs experience the uncanny valley.
Yeah, if you get like it'd be really weird. Like,
Good question.
you know how people you get like a
if they
stuffed dog or something like that like, it's like one of the scoped it to look real.
I mean, like if they like see a Roomba rolling around, like do they like
Yeah.
think it's a dog or something?
I don't think so.
know.
I think it's if you get like one of those like those toy pets. Like if you get like you have like one of those toy cats that like moves automatically.
Yeah.
I wonder if that would creep them out more because it looks like a cat to them. But then they're like, because I seen they had one. You ever see that thing they did where they had put a fake baby lion in like a pride and all the other lions were like playing with it because they thought it was real.
I think I do. And I think they've done that with gorillas too.
Yeah, I think that's uncanny for them.
Yeah, but like once we're actually in a world where this uncanny valley type situation is everywhere, do you think that it would be a good idea to give robots rights?
No.
Well, so it's actually a very big topic of debate right now. People are actually talking about because with things like ChatGPT, Mid-Journey, all these different AI systems that still haven't made it into the robots themselves.
Yeah.
People are actually concerned, like, well, once the robots do gain what is effectively sentience, once we
Right.
have these soul machines walking around, do they get rights? Now, one guy, the scientist, I think his name is Taewon Kim,
Okay.
he actually said that he thinks that the robots shouldn't be given rights, but instead they should just be allowed to participate in like the cultural traditions.
In sports.
Yeah,
Robots
literally.
in sports.
Like have them like every team gets one robot athlete, stuff like that.
That's funny.
So like have them participate in the traditions. They can come to Christmas, they can eat Thanksgiving dinner, but they can't live freely. People are actually concerned about the use of AI in different capacities, like for example the police using AI for facial recognition. So all of their body cameras would be equipped with facial recognition, or driverless cars, for example. There's a lot of different things that are coming up where some people are actually afraid of the idea of a society that's mostly driverless cars, and then a lot of people, especially minorities, are afraid of all the police having facial recognition at all times. So
That's true.
yeah.
Let's say we guys want to open up the floor right now and start asking some general questions about people's feel of AI. I guess the first thing I want to ask is, what do you guys feel about kind of the current integration of AI into the mainstream, to where now Snapchat, you have your own little AI chat assistant on there. ChatGPT is pretty mainstream at this point, and all like the videos you might see on Instagram where people have like started making full-blown videos or audios using strictly AI.
I didn't know Snapchat had a AI assistant.
They do. I got mine. It's literally, you can name it, you can ask it questions. It's funny.
That's it. You just ask it questions.
That's pretty much all it's really
It
for.
answers.
Yeah, it does. You can actually have a heart to heart with it because it's kind of like this program like it's like sophisticated enough to be more than just a search engine.
It has emotions.
Yeah, like you could literally ask it like I'm having a bad day, like or like how's it feeling, and it'll tell you how it's feeling, and it'll ask you how you're feeling. So it's like you can do that with it.
I feel like that's pretty cool. Like everybody has stuff that they don't want to talk to other people about. Yeah. So if you talk to the AI,
it won't judge it.
It's better than nothing. You know what I'm saying?
That'll probably curve that uncanny valley scale.
I think so too.
Once people really start feeling like the empathy between that, like the automated intelligence.
It's funny.
It'll probably become a little.
We had a hypothetical about this on a similar podcast I remember being on before. They said something about falling in love with a AI, and I feel like if having too many deep conversations with AI, you're gonna kind of forget that you're talking to an AI.
Right.
It's kind of like that one thing where they talk about like if you masturbate too much, you're gonna kind of forget that human interaction is kind of needed to produce human life.
Right.
And
you're just gonna forget.
It just becomes the default. Like, why would I even want a woman?
Yeah.
Why would I need a friend when AI could literally give me intricate answers? And why would I need anything? Why would I need another human for anything when AI can just act like a human?
You
but
sit
it's
there
just
smoking
like
a blunt with your AI.
So it's a little bit. So it's a little bit like almost scary to think
dangerous,
about.
yeah.
Like,
give and take.
It's a risk, especially when you have something like. For me, I think about it like the AI is in Snapchat, and there's a lot of kids using Snapchat, so they may become dependent on this AI for emotional support.
That's true.
That do make sense. Yeah. I can see people like kind of going overboard with it and not really wanting to talk to nobody but the AI.
I got my AI, man.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's like a good and a bad to it. I think it's anything where it's like it has a lot of potential to do good, but then with it could also be used for bad if like you know, it can also be a negative thing if overused, or it's like it's taken further than its intended purpose. So, you know, I can see AI. Let's say you have a person who's like a recluse and doesn't feel like they have anyone to talk to. Maybe AI could talk someone out of, you know, self-deletion, but like at the same time, maybe it could, you know, keep a person from actually gaining, you know, reaching out to other people to get like real human interaction.
Yeah. So like it's a double-edged sword, I guess is what you would call it.
Yeah.
Yeah. It can stab your enemies, but it can stab you too.
I think I would say right now it has more potential for good. I'm curious though, like, because it's only gonna get better. And even aside from just like the, you know, kind of human robot thing, I think it also is going to get integrated in fields to where it's going to like start to maybe like replace people in terms of the job force. And I think that is a thing that people could probably be more worried about.
They have talked about Elon Musk actually said he believes that eventually AI-driven machines are going to outnumber humans. And it seems a little bit unfeasible to start, but as you think about it, we're never really going to run out of resources to build robots, and the robots don't have to be the size of human beings. They can be any size. So AI-driven robots, there could be billions of them easily, but, you know, humans, they would need electricity and oil or whatever, but, you know, we need food, so it's harder for us to have our resources, but you know, I just wonder how the integration is going to look. You know? And it's kind of crazy. It's kind of ridiculous that we're even talking about this now, because it's like something we grew up sort of seeing in movies and on the internet and on TV and stuff, but now it's like actually sort of coming.
What's the coolest application of AI that you guys can think of? Like, what would be the coolest thing? If you could just like imagine into the future what AI could be used for, what would be like the coolest thing?
I said, somebody hit a point.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say mine. Because I saw a video about like nanobots, like basically being put into like the human body, like, you know, little cyborgs or whatever. But basically, it's like if you have a technology of like tiny AI nanobots that like basically constantly monitor your bloodstream and reconstruct cells, you could essentially like live forever.
But they gonna be in your body though?
They will. You know, it basically be like an injection. It injects these things into it, and they basically like monitor your body. You know, ahead of time if you're getting sick. It can actually like repair cells so that they essentially never die.
But how do I get them out?
Oh no, there is no getting them out. That wasn't in the contract, Steve.
I don't think I would want
It's dangerous thinking, so like literally this YouTube video
it's like a
might
vaccine.
Get
I get it.
Yeah, you're right.
I was thinking AI would be cool, like in video games, like GTA, for example. Like, imagine playing GTA.
Oh, the NPCs?
Make the NPCs
yes,
more
exactly.
realistic.
Make it so it's like, imagine playing GTA and you can actually have a conversation with an NPC, or you steal a car, right? And as you gone, while you took the car and you gone, the NPC like, where my car at? And it's like a whole investigation.
That would actually be really cool.
And he's just looking for it. Yeah, like that'd be.
Because I'm thinking about it, like, because all NPCs are like off of like a script. But imagine if you had like scriptless NPCs, so it's like you truly have a random game.
Now someone's freaking
that would be cool.
talking.
That's pretty fire.
Now someone's thinking.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. That's a good one.
That'd be good.
I think automated gardens, like food gardens with like a hive mind set of Amazon robots that have no military use anymore.
Oh, that's really cool.
Should be applied to just start learning from each other and learn what soil use is for and like what food can do.
Automated
and then we
garden.
Just, you know, they could be charged from even the nutrients.
That sounds great. Actually, that sounds really good.
Yeah,
you guys are way smarter than me, bro. I'm thinking of like. Like literally, like just friends, or like I don't know. Like I was just thinking of
these are all good.
Just a little buddy,
like homework. I don't know. Yeah, I'm just thinking of like little stuff like that they could already do. Y'all are.
Hiram's gonna be on a farm. Alonzo's gonna be
living
immortal.
Yeah,
Trinity's gonna have a little Furby that can talk to him.
Yeah, a Pikachu.
He's got a chia pet that can talk while it grows.
Yeah,
chia bot.
That's pretty cool.
And I'm just gonna be at the crib playing GTA.
That's right. Yeah,
No, you're gonna be immersed.
No, yeah,
You're gonna be more than playing it.
Roosevelt will literally never run out of quest.
Rosie's gonna be inviting
Oh my God, that
NPCs
is
to his
like
crib.
genius.
Bro, you probably could have an NPC actually like jump out the game, get in a body, and then show up at the crib.
Low key though.
Yo,
You could download him.
What if wait, what if your NPC like hacked your game? Like, what if it took over?
Damn.
Like it hacks your PlayStation? Like it becomes too smart and realizes what's going
your
on?
NPC.
It starts
AI,
changing the code.
Right.
Nah, that's too much.
Prank call your mama and stuff.
They gotta like have like a
An inhibitor, like
a nerf.
it can't
or
get in.
something.
It can't get into the code. It can't.
Yeah, it gotta have some boundaries. But
Okay.
that would be dope. Like if I'm playing GTA and then I get at an NPC, and then that NPC come out the game into a robot body. Yeah, that'd be wild.
It can Bluetooth itself.
3D print some homies.
3D print some homeboys. Yeah.
Bro, that just sounds like ridiculous, like lonely.
I wouldn't do that though. I'm not saying I would do that.
I'm about to
but
3D print some homies.
I'm not saying I would do it, but it would. I mean, it's
would
cool.
Would you trust a completely AI generated hospital?
No.
I don't know. No.
What if you're dying?
I don't know. I mean, I'd have to at that point.
As long as I know they're not
you
gonna.
got 2 slugs in your gut, and it's either that or like a 30-minute drive that you got to make.
As long as I know they're not gonna inject me with the nanobots.
Yeah.
I'm good.
No.
You got
there's no promises on that, bud. You're dying.
It's literally an AI robot.
Okay,
they might get a good idea right in the middle of it.
Yeah, dude, they could update right in the middle.
Going to work.
Actually,
for me, I would want the driverless cars to have complete like AI where they make it like there's no traffic whatsoever.
So you're trying
because
to
getting
do
places is so bad. Like traffic is the worst thing ever,
Oh,
basically.
So you want it to be like in the B movie where like all the cars are driving like just seamlessly past each other like high speeds?
Yes.
Yeah, okay.
But I think they'll have a lane specifically for people that want to drive their shit. Because I'm gonna be in that lane. I'm cool with.
Yeah, I can't keep up with robots. They're too good.
I mean, never mind.
Robots make mistakes, don't they?
Well, only if it's
They
like
do,
malfunctions.
but it
I
would be
guess.
like it'd be to the point where
yes.
it would be tested. If every car in America, if like 90% of cars in America,
It's like a hive mind.
is on this system, then yeah, it would be like to the point
They
where
learn
they
from each
have
other
as
too.
much.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would.
Like
they'd
every
learn-
car knows
yeah.
every other car's position, so they can't like possibly get themselves mixed up.
Have y'all ever seen the videos of AI like solving a maze?
Yeah.
It's crazy. Like they show like run 1, it'll just hit a wall, and then run 1,000, it's just going through it like, you know what I'm saying? Like it really learns.
Yeah,
that's
I've
crazy.
I've seen them play like old games. Like it's like playing like Galactica or stuff like that.
Galaga.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
Galactica.
Yeah.
And it's like it starts off really bad, and then it gets to the point to where it's
learning.
it's just like inhumanly good at it. Like it just becomes super efficient.
They actually tend to start to like if you have 2 separate AIs playing a game together, they'll start to collaborate.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then they'll start scripting like amazing scene. Like
Yeah, they had some soccer game where they had 2 different AIs working together. I wish I would have pulled that video, but it was interesting.
Something about AI learning just sounds ominous. It's just like
Yeah, it does kind of. It seems like kind of scary. Like
it gives you goosebumps. Like
Yeah, it does.
like I did because it's like you built it, and then
Like-
it's like you know what it's supposed to be able to do, and then it surprises you, and you're like,
yeah,
okay.
it's so eerie.
It's
Or
so
the
eerie.
video of AI learning to walk, that was so eerie. Like it was
Yeah.
just dragging itself, and then
In this
eventually it started
project,
jumping
we've
over
trained
stuff. I'm like, oh,
Oh, this actually looks interesting.
physically simulated humanoids to play a simplified version of 2v2 football, in North America also known as soccer.
have y'all ever heard of Tory Bash?
To achieve that, we use a combination of imitation learning, reinforcement learning, and population-based training.
That's weird.
I don't like it.
Yeah, no, that's pretty weird.
It's actually uncanny because they use like the lowest resolution game to like play too.
Yeah, they probably made that game.
Probably.
Or something.
Yeah.
I would say, in terms of the rights thing, you said like robots have rights, right? Or is it the AI?
I was
that have rights?
I was asking, so like the robot using the AI, like if you have an AI that is like locked
That's so
into a
worrisome.
robotic
Look at that.
body, should the robot itself be given rights, or should they just be allowed to participate in traditions and be part of our teams, but they aren't? They're still property, basically.
Yeah.
I feel like letting them participate. I mean, at some point, I just feel like if you let them participate, at some point they're gonna be like, we want rights. They're gonna want rights because they robots and they know how everything works. You feel me? Like,
And they would be like
literally-
kind of smarter than most people generally.
exactly.
Yeah,
And they gonna have literally the history, human history, like in they, you feel me? They database, whatever you want to call it, and they gonna know it like this. So it's like they gonna do the same things that people did back in the day to get rights, and you feel me? All of that stuff. But I don't feel like robots should have rights. I would just say it should be like a general rule of, you feel me? Just
I feel like I
don't-
could gaslight an AI robot, honestly.
Yeah. I don't
feel like I could, like, bro, what do you need rights for? Like, literally, you're the smartest person. Ask yourself, what do you need rights for? What are you gonna do with them? What are you gonna do with free time? Nothing.
It would literally give you an answer for that though, and then you would have to, you feel me, come up.
That's what Taewon Kim actually is like is elaborating on. Like she actually, or he, sorry,
Yeah, it's a-
actually
it's a
does.
dude.
talk about that like directly,
Oh
like
my God.
their perspective on what is a right to a
Oh my
tradition.
God.
Like whether they're
I want to
they're-
charge myself when I'm ready, like stuff like that. Like, bro, by all means, like I'm not gonna stop you. Like,
You know what would be crazy? What if they had they took like a group of AI fully autonomous robots and they dropped it on an island and then see if it would build a society on its own. It's it doesn't have to eat or anything, but let's say it's programmed to try to create a human society. Will the robots start to hunt? Will they start to
I don't know if it would hunt. It doesn't need any
Well, yeah,
food.
like I said, but I want to see if they would terraform the environment, make shelters and stuff like that. How would that
I would
work?
imagine if
like-
you programmed them to do it, they
exactly, because don't
I
you
guess
have
so,
to
yeah.
give AI prompts?
Yeah, because it would have to have a purpose.
Doesn't it have to have a prompt before it even does anything? Because
Uh,
what would it even do?
Not necessarily.
No,
if you
not
prompt it to
necessarily.
survive, then that's a very broad prompt, and it would
Yeah.
use all the data it has to do that.
Because literally, I think oftentimes all it would just do is it'll just stand there and do nothing. Because it's well, what do I need to survive?
Right. It would
Not
just save
much.
its batteries.
So you would have to give it an initiative. What's its purpose?
That's what I'm saying. So I think if you dropped them there, they would do nothing.
yeah.
Let me read this from this. Assigning
So I would tell it build a society and see how it does it.
assigning role obligations to robots encourages teamwork, which triggers an understanding that fulfilling those obligations should be done harmoniously. Artificial intelligence artificial intelligence imitates human intelligence. So for robots to develop as rights bearers, meaning tradition bearers, they must be powered by a type of AI that can imitate humans' capacity to recognize and execute team activities. Taewon Kim acknowledges that some will question why robots should be treated respectfully in the first place, right? But he says, to the extent that we make robots in our image, if we don't treat them well as entities capable of participating in rights, traditions, we degrade ourselves, he suggests.
So
That
So
kinda
it's
makes
basically
sense.
like a matter of morality. If
If
you're
we don't respect
immoral,
them.
That's
then
what I
you're
was
going to
gonna-
treat them bad. But
I
if
have
you're
a I have a
moral person-
question to a Christian person in the room.
Yeah.
How do you feel about that? He's saying, as we create robots in our image, that's the part that kind of gets me. I didn't know it was in a certain image. When they talk about AI and people being worried about it, I'm thinking it's because they have a mind of their own and they just start doing stuff. But we kind of forget the thought that you have to give it a prompt, or you don't have to, but it's not gonna just do stuff. So
yeah. So as whatever, as a Christian or whatever, it is important to note that the robots, from my perspective, made by God too. But the robots are made in the image of human intelligence.
Yeah.
The intelligence that they hold isn't lion intelligence or rat intelligence. It's human intelligence. They compiled all the intelligence of humans on the internet or in their own private, database. But all that information was sourced from man.
Yeah.
So it's made in the image of the man's intelligence, I guess.
Yeah.
So with that though, and that's what I was just thinking, because you said if you put the AI robots on the island, they probably won't do nothing. But wouldn't they do you feel me? The information, they got all this
What a human would
information
do.
about humans. So why wouldn't
the
they?
robot would know enough about itself, likely, particularly the fact that it has no organs and it doesn't need food. It's not going to eat.
Yeah, that's the reason where it's if you give a robot the prompt to survive, it'll basically, because it's we basically make intelligence based off of our perception of intelligence. So that's all we can go on. So it's gonna think like us in terms of what it wants to do. But if I know I'm a robot and my intelligence base is how humans think, it would rationalize to itself first, well, what do I need to survive? No, I'm not human. I'm a robot. So
it would definitely use just a book that was about a robot surviving on an island.
it would just Google a
So
book.
it literally, to me, it sounds like the AI itself will be in a constant battle between am I AI or am I a human? Because they know if it's based off human knowledge, it knows that it's an AI, but it behaves like a human, but it knows, I don't know what I'm trying to word what I think, but it sounds like they're going to be thinking about how they're not a human.
He's in a loop.
I think as long as you
Yeah. I think I don't know. I think it might get to the point. 'Cause I don't know. It's I wonder if I asked my Snapchat AI, hey, are you a robot? What it would say. But I think it's a thing where it would answer the question first, because whatever prompt you have, its only goal would be that. And I think it will just learn. And then with anything that eventually learns, it might get to it'll start to ask questions. So I could assume it could get to the point to where the thing would start to want to like it's gonna be like, how come I work all day? You know, I move all these boxes in this factory, but I don't get paid. Like it might come to that conclusion one day and then think I should ask for a raise, you know, or I should ask to get paid in general. And so it might try to, you know, start to learn. It might start to learn what rights are. I think it's what it will eventually get to. Like it might be like, hey, if I do this and I'm acting as a human, I should be treated as a human.
I was like 7 when I saw iRobot. Is that what that's about?
I think so.
Sounds like
yeah,
it, right?
essentially gaining sentience, which I guess is just like advanced intelligence.
Well, I think there's the difference between gaining sentience and gaining consciousness, though. Like if the robot's conscious, then it will question where it is. If it's sentient, then it will understand where it is, sort of.
I mean, damn, Steve, that sounds really good, and I hate you said it because I'm just like, I don't know if that was real or if that's just like some quote you just fucking.
No, it's not a quote. I literally that was pure me. The robot, if it is sentient, then it's going to know. It's going to know the situation that it is a part of, but it will have really no power to actually change it. Like if it like basically think of the consciousness as like changing its code. You know, like if it can like reprogram itself.
No, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, the only AI citizen, actually, Sophia once said that she wanted to destroy humans. And now she doesn't want to do that anymore.
That's good.
So basically consciousness is asking, where am I? Sentience is asking, what am I? Kind of.
Sort of like that, yeah.
Okay.
She's like, never mind.
Okay.
She thought about it. You know,
I feel like
she had to think.
I feel like AI would, or whatever robots, however you want to call it, I feel like they would do what humans do in a sense of continuous progression. So it's like they're gonna make more robots and they're gonna say, you know, okay, now can we do this and then do that and then do this and do that, and it's just gonna continuously advance until it's something that's like, you know.
Well, it depends on if they're programmed to do that, I guess, in a way.
But it's like, I don't know, it's like I feel like with the whole AI situation, you have to program it, but it's like, do you have to? Because it's like it knows.
Yeah, it could
right?
probably program. It could probably program another robot that could do things, but the robot itself probably would have parameters and boundaries that it can't cross.
Yeah,
and it may not even have the option to be able to, because it's basically like a language learning model, which means that it learns language based on what's fed into it, and then it evolves that understanding, but that requires an engineer to make corrections along the way, you know.
What? So you don't think it'll eventually get to a point where it's like, okay, I'm up there enough to just take care of this on my own, like don't worry about it.
That's if the engineers have programmed it to be able to break free like that. But usually they would set a parameter, like Elon Musk always talks about that. Are we gonna set? Elon Musk thinks it's getting to a point where it's dangerous. Like if they take ChatGPT and remove the parameters, then it might be like a problem for the whole world. You know, so
they're already hiring humans to do their jobs.
Yeah, like one of them went on Fiverr to hire somebody.
Wait, are you serious?
Yeah.
That sounds hilarious.
Yeah.
Wait, what happened?
Someone took an instance of ChatGPT and then ran it on their own and then had it basically. I don't remember exactly how it went. But it ended up going on Fiverr and paying somebody to like
a human
to pretend to be because like basically it was trying to get through like a CAPTCHA, you know, like when it has like the pick a picture,
prove
you're a human.
Yeah,
it paid someone on Fiverr to fill that out.
Wow. That's incredible.
Yeah,
that's fucking scary. So I'm sorry. That's scary. It's finding shortcuts.
Yeah.
But see, that's what gets me, because I think the crux of my whole analogy before about the robots on an island, I guess, is like if you think robots can get to the point to where they're like, let's say, free thinking. So it's just if you just leave a robot with like, semi-consciousness and the ability to basically form its own purpose, what will they do as a unit? And so I can see that kind of getting to the point where it's like, robots left to their own devices will literally start to form their own purposes. And it could go as something as simple as like hiring, something to basically, bypass firewalls, or it could go as something that's like, maybe it decides like, we need to start genocide or something crazy.
Or we got to get the launch codes.
Yeah, like,
or Mr. Mises.
I think that is that's a true thing.
Yeah, Mises.
I'm imagining a Mr. Mises type situation where they're gonna start. It's gonna get out of hand, and it's gonna be like, okay, AI, create an AI to create an AI to make me breakfast. Like, like it's gonna. Yeah. I feel like it's gonna get like that.
I feel like
anybody. Well, yeah, I was gonna say we got for closing thoughts. So
okay.
Yeah. Well, what I was gonna say is just kind of silly, but I was just thinking like, what if like the robots killed off all the humans, right? and then let's say maybe like 100 years after they developed a religion and was like, but the god of the robot religion is a human, so they like you know, and it's like a whole big conspiracy, and it's
the
like
creators,
the robots making the other robots work for the robots. And like, you know, fuck it. You know
what's actually really funny? You basically just described the ancient alien theories, but we're robots.
Yeah.
Wow.
And also,
wait, man, we gotta have this talk off camera then, because this sounds really interesting.
Yeah. But anyone else got some closing thoughts, man?
Hey, man.
No.
I got
ready
a little piece here. I just think one of my biggest things is like malicious intent, right?
Mm-hmm.
So if you have a hostile person who wants to commit some harm, you know, you infect the AI system with a little something, and then everything goes crazy. I mean, everything goes crazy.
Yeah,
literally everyone did it.
Like, you take a system, you infect it, and you can cause a lot of damage.
Yeah,
there's a lot of room for hacking and malicious intent.
Yeah. So they gotta
AI
have those,
and humanity.
They gotta have those safeguards.
It's got to be governed very, very well if they want to do it. So the more you integrate it, the more you need more safeguards to keep it from.
Yep. And there's always some smart
supervision.
15-year-old who knows how to get past it anyway, and they're gonna don't let that get in their hands.
Well, the government's just gonna hire them. They're gonna get in a little bit. They're gonna dip a toe, and then the government's gonna snatch them up, and now they're programming the damn thing.
That's how Google works.
Yeah. So
didn't think about it like that.
We're definitely going to continue this AI topic, I think, sometime. I think we're going to go into like a deeper discussion on like different uses of AI and stuff like that in a future episode. But thanks everybody for watching. But we got to pop out of here.
That's right. Thanks for popping by, everybody.
Yeah. Thanks again. Yeah. So Cold Podcast. You can check us out on audio platforms. Subscribe on YouTube, and then check out the Patreon too.